Bueno chicos, pues me he podido colar justo antes de la rueda de prensa para coger sitio donde las cámaras y grabar la rueda de prensa de Passengers, que está toda la gente en la calle a tope, no hay un hueco libre. Aquí un día alguien se mata, ya lo sabéis, y esto va a estar lleno, ya lo veréis luego. Me voy que empieza.
Please welcome on board the Avalon once again, Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt. Hello, good morning, Chris, Jennifer. So good to see you. How are you feeling? Are you feeling at home here in this recreation of the Avalon that we've made just for you?
This is amazing. I feel right at home. Thank you. Wow.
Thank you.
We're all headed to another distant planet. We're going to be here for several hundred
We're going to get to know each other
years.
very well.
That's right. We are going to get to know each other very well. So let's start off with that first question.
Nothing? Okay.
It's coming, it's coming. It just takes a little
I'm just
while.
kidding.
We're working on our first question. Let's hear it for our first question. Vamos allá con nuestra primera pregunta. Start with you. Ladies first. Go ahead.
I think the characteristic I identified with the most is probably Aurora's independence and sense of being alone. I mean, I would never want to be that alone. And kind of that, I guess, a drive that will drive you into the ground one day if you're not careful. We have that in common. The most difficult was probably just trying to imagine that sense of entrapment and loneliness and helplessness. You know, I don't even know anyone who's ever been in that situation. It's very hard to imagine what that would feel like.
Thanks, Jennifer.
You know, emotionally, I think the thing that I identified the most with was like just really, really admiring her, you know, and the thrill of being stuck on a ship for an extended period of time, just she and I identified with that because that was kind of the experience of making this movie. It was really great. So when she was in the parts of the movie where she's upset with me, it was really soul crushing, you know. So I identified with that, I guess. But in terms of the character, who he is, there's something that I think I have in common with him is this desire to be a pioneer and to go out into the wild and, you know, explore new frontiers and get out into nature and, you know, get back in touch with craftsmanship and building things and fixing things rather than just, you know, this new world of obsolescence and easily replaced, you know, gadgets and gizmos. It's kind of nice to make something out of like wood and that kind of thing.
Right, he is very hands-on, very tangible, and that is a contrast we can appreciate for sure. Let's hear it for the next question. All right, so a question for writers. Jennifer, you're a writer in this film. Aurora's a writer, a very renowned one. So if you were to embark on a journey of this sort, what book would you take with you and why? And then for you, Chris, if you were a writer, what sort of book, what would you have liked to write?
Oh.
I mean, my press answer, East of Eden, because it is my favorite book, but I've already read it. There's always new characters to explore, though, in East of Eden. True answer, Harry Potter.
Okay, thank you for that true answer. We appreciate that. And Chris, what would you write if you could?
What would I write?
What book would you write, yes, if you could write a book?
Oh, gee. Yeah.
Or what book would you have liked to have written, perhaps?
Maybe an instruction manual on how to open a spaceship door.
There you go. That would be very practical, I see, yes. No spoilers, but that would come in handy, correct?
Yeah.
So a question for both of you, and then one for you, Chris, regarding whether you would like to do a spin-off from Parks and Recreations from your character there. But first, let's hear from both of you. You are both participating in different sagas. And so how would you see, you know, your role in the future along these lines? Sagas are of your interest, or what sort of roles would you like to bite your teeth into? And then tell us about a potential spin-off, perhaps?
I don't know. I don't really ever think about what roles I would want to do in the future because I could have never imagined anything that's happened so far. So it's kind of like a waste of time. Because I just could have, scripts come along and then you're like, whoa, Aurora, a writer that's in space. Like, I could have never thought of that.
Right, so what is the one
What?
thing that it needs, Jennifer? The question more is, what's the one thing a script needs, whether it's saga or not, for you to say yes to, that really draws your attention and makes you want to be on board?
Well, different things for every movie. Sometimes it's, I would want to see this. So I'm going to make it so that my audiences can see it because I think they'd like it. Or a director that you want to work with. Or a character that like scares me or makes me feel like I don't know if I can do this. So those different kind of things.
So something intimidating, perhaps a challenge. And what's it like for you, Chris? What makes you say yes to your next role?
Well, I think great filmmakers, great stories, opportunities to try something different, those are all appealing to me. I'm working with an amazing Spanish director, J. Boyena, coming up on Jurassic World 2. So that's an example of somebody who's a great filmmaker. So I'm looking forward to working with him. But yeah, I think just looking for something different, unlike what you've done before. And I think Jennifer maybe touched on this a little bit. I don't really know how I'm perceived necessarily, and then until I maybe see a movie that I've done, and then each time I see a movie that I've done, I think, oh, I know what I want. I think I know what I want to do next. So, after having seen Passengers, which is really good, I think you're all gonna like it very much.
December 28th.
Yeah, when it's December 28th. I want to just try something different. And as long as Jennifer Lawrence is my co-star, I'll do it.
There you go, great. So we'd love to see you together again. And what about the spin-off? Any comment?
Oh my God, I would love to. I love that
Yes?
character so much.
Okay.
That character is my clown. It's the personification of my comedic clown. And I've been working on that brand of comedy my entire life. And being able to work with the people that I worked with on that show, the creators, the writers, and also the cast. We were just a big family of comedians, and I would jump at the chance to do anything with any of them because I just had so much fun. So thank you for asking that question. That means a lot.
We live in very political times, Jennifer and Chris. So what would you say is the political message or the political themes that we might find in this film? And secondly, are we running away from Trump?
There aren't any political messages, and that's why everyone's going to love it. And if you feel like you want to go to the theater for that reason, then that's great. And if not, you'll also love it. Next!
Chris, anything to add?
Oh, I don't know. This is, I think what's really nice about cinema and about storytelling is it's a medium that can bring people together. And you're right, it is a political time that we live in. And there's a growing divide amongst the rich and the poor, the haves and the have-nots. We've seen it in our country. There's a separation of people. And it's not either of our intention to sell any one side out over another. I think we want to bring people together, and so hopefully that's what you can do for 2 hours. Because it's what's really nice is when you come to the movies, you have to turn your phone off. And so, whatever is going on in the news for that 2 hours, you'll just have to wait and, be lost in old-fashioned storytelling. Fun and adventurous.
NASA says, Jennifer, Chris, that we expect that maybe in 2030 we may have the next expedition to Mars. So having this space experience, I don't know if you would like to give any tip or if you would feel brave enough to go on this voyage, or what message would you like to convey to people who might be interested in going to Mars, and would you be up for being a part of the crew? Let's start with you, Chris, and then with you, Jennifer.
Oh, with me?
Yes, let's hear from you.
Well, I have a lot of detailed scientific information to I hope you can help me parlay to those astronauts. I think that it's pretty cool that we can go to Mars, and I suppose one day this planet is going to, get sucked into the sun, maybe millions and millions of years from now. But between now and then, we better figure something out. So I applaud the people who would go first, because it doesn't seem like a super safe thing to do, but I personally wouldn't do it.
So you wouldn't. How about you, Jennifer?
I love the idea of space exploration, but I'm not like excited to go to Mars. It seems like the weather's bad and it's like wouldn't be good properties. I mean, if there was like, a nice planet, like I'd go in a heartbeat, but that's just like, it doesn't have any of my criteria for a planet.
Mars is too hot.
Yeah, too hot, and then too cold, very windy.
Really windy.
Very windy.
Homestead,
And I don't think I look
yeah.
good with an orange hue.
Yeah. Ugh. Dusty.
Yeah.
There you go. So Homestead's the place for you. Homestead or Madrid?
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
all right. All right, so we here, journalists, we spent 2 hours watching the film, but there's not much we can say. We don't want to give it away. You have spent 2 years of your life, Jennifer and Chris, working on this film. So please, tell us something fun, tell us something entertaining, and something interesting that we can then tell about this movie. Let's hear it from you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right, and thank you, because I think that the experience of seeing this film is it's best enjoyed
Cold.
as a mystery. Yeah. I don't think you want your readers and your audience to know too much before going into this movie, because I think it does take away from the experience of seeing the movie. It's one of those movies that all you need to know is that you definitely want to see it, and then that's it.
December 28th.
December 28th.
Right, December 30th in Spain. That's
December
right.
30th.
December
Yes,
30th.
30, December 30th.
December 30th.
So-
Get in line December 28th
Yes.
if you want your ticket.
Thank you, Chris.
So maybe we can say, come watch it, you won't regret it. Give us a line, a punchline, something about Passengers that will spark their interest. Can you give it a go, Jennifer? Passengers.
Well, Passengers, Pratt and I both said it. It was the best script that both of us have ever read. It was like the
Okay.
most turn-paging. I do that every time.
Page
No, wait,
turn.
I did it right this time. I said turn-paging.
No, it's page
Oh, God.
It's a really great movie, and you can see my butt. So
All right. We wanted something interesting, we've got it. Okay.
come
thank
for
you.
Someone just
come
passed
for
out.
my butt and stay for the story.
Thank you. So the best screenplay ever and ... more
That's
to
what
come.
I've been saying.
Okay, thank you very much. Próxima pregunta. So what was your approach to this film when filming with such few actors and so many special effects?
I mean, my approach was the same. I think that there was a little bit more pressure put on Pratt and I. On Chris and I meeting for the first time, just because it was really we'd be spending 16 plus hours a day together. So if we didn't have chemistry or didn't like each other, that would really suck.
That would be a problem.
It would be a big problem.
Thankfully,
So
it didn't happen, though.
It did not happen.
No.
The opposite happened. Yeah, but I went about it the same way. It was actually really nice. There were less distractions. It was a lot more intimate. I mean, for such a big, giant, I've never had a hologram me as I'm speaking.
Well, this is the future.
Yeah,
Jennifer,
no, I know.
Chris,
Really
welcome to
amazing.
the future.
I can't believe where we
This
are
is
right now.
Avalon in Madrid.
Yeah, it was nice there was more focus. It was more intimate, especially for the biggest set that any of us have ever been on. It was the process was very intimate.
I see.
Yeah.
Anything to add, Chris? Same approach.
This is very much an epic movie. As you know, having seen it, it's grand in scale, and it was incredibly difficult to shoot. It just required many hours, a lot of giant set pieces, moving parts, animation as well as physical and practical stunts and sets.
Right.
And I think the way that we approach it, as I don't know, at least I do, and Jen does, and Morton does with these types of problems, is just start piece by piece and just put it together like a puzzle. And some days we would work tirelessly for hours for a piece of film that may be 10 seconds long, and other times we're shooting scenes of dialogue that are 4 or 5 pages. So you just look at the piece and focus on directly what's in front of you, and don't get lost in just focus on each tree and don't think about the forest. And then by the end, they put the movie together.
There you go. So we're receiving questions. This is from Sony Pictures. Juan Antonio posed this question to you. Was it difficult to work with your harness and so many cables and the zero gravity? What was that like?
That was pretty hard. Yeah, I think a lot of times when you're doing harness work, you know, hanging from wires, you're creating, you know, the illusion of flying or falling or being thrown, but all of that exists within the, you know, physical limitations of Earth's gravity. So you don't have to keep that in mind, but when you're creating the look of zero gravity in space, you have to be mindful of certain things, like, you know, you don't have this natural pull of gravity down on you. So it's really difficult to create an authentic looking zero gravity stunt. And so we really beat our heads against the wall a couple of days trying to get that right. And I think in the end it all looks very, very good. I think it looks good, but it was hard to do.
It does look good. But was it as difficult for you, Jennifer?
It was much more difficult for me and much more difficult for everyone on the set when I was in a harness. Ever since the Hunger Games, I was like, I finished those and I was like, done. I'm done being a stunt.
That was it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
I'm not good with stunts. Yeah, I don't like them. Pratt really helped me. Yeah, I'm not athletic.
Yes, you are.
Well, it looks like you are, so.
Well, we both
That's all
have, and we
that
both have
matters.
really great stuntmen, Tony McFarlane, Renee Moneymaker.
Yeah, I don't have a stunt man, but
Stuntmen, as in mankind.
Stunt woman.
Stunt people. Yep, you're right. You have a stunt woman.
yeah, no.
But her stunt woman could beat the crap out of me. For sure.
Oh, wow.
She's very tough.
Female
and
power, huh?
She's awesome, yeah.
There you go. Próxima pregunta.
Hi guys, me again from Sony Pictures.
So also from Sony, another question from the audience is, what was the most special moment for you?
Oh, there were so many.
If you could pick one that is especially close to your heart, especially dear.
I mean, maybe the first time, our first inside joke, maybe?
Yeah, probably our first inside joke. There was, you know, I have a moment that I was really proud of that was about halfway through filming, and our crew was working tirelessly, nonstop, many departments, 7 days a week, 15 to 18 hours a day.
Wow.
And it was really hard, and I felt morale was kind of slipping, and I kind of gave this impromptu like pep talk to the crew, and
amazing.
I felt really proud of that. That was
Really?
that was a good moment.
And it just happened.
I've never seen anyone do that, especially not an actor, and it was amazing. He was right. Morale was really slipping. Everyone was really exhausted, and I've never seen an actor just like take the reins like that. And he gave this amazing speech and inspired everyone, and it totally changed the energy of the set. That was incredible.
What did he say, Jennifer?
I can't remember
part of it.
exactly
Really
what he
stuck with
said.
her.
He was just talking about movies and how it's our passion and how much we love it, and even though it's hard, you know, we're all so lucky that we're doing this. And he said that he appreciated the hard work, that he and I appreciated all the hard work that they were doing, and we wouldn't be able to do it without them, and you know, something along those lines.
Pushing forward together, huh?
Yeah.
That's part of Avalon as well.
Yeah.
2 questions for you, Jennifer and Chris. So we're a music radio station. So if you had to take an album from your favorite artist on your next adventure, on the next film or
Lemonade.
trip. Okay, good. We wanted an album.
Please.
And you, Chris, what would it be?
You'd bring lemonade?
Beyonce.
Oh, it's like I thought she said album. I would probably bring the Beatles' greatest hits, 1967 to 70.
All right, so we've got your musical taste. And the second question for both of you as well was, for your next film or for the film of your life, would you be willing to sacrifice it all? We see your 2 characters, Jim and Aurora, they go all out for their jobs. They're so passionate, you know, they're willing to do what it takes. Would you give it all up? Would you sacrifice like them? would you be willing to take that for the movie of your life?
I would do that for my life. I would make a giant move like that if I felt like I was going to have the greatest experience of my life. I would do that for my soul, but I wouldn't do that for my job, no.
Okay. And Chris?
I've got a family. I think I got to try to avoid intergalactic space travel for the sake of my wife and son. They need me. So
They need you. And we need you guys too.
And you need us too.
Yes, we need you too.
We
here on
need to
Earth,
do that
in
Parks and
Madrid.
Rec spin-off.
That spin-off, there we go. And more to come. Next question to come. Próxima pregunta. Final question, Jennifer, we're going to start with you. Your name is Aurora, just like the Disney princess in Sleeping Beauty. So what similarities and differences do you think you can point out from the character Aurora in Passengers and the classical princess? In what ways are they different? In what ways are they the same, if at all? And then for you, Chris, to wrap it up, you would also be, say, the Prince Charming. But, being careful with the spoilers alert, it's a different Prince Charming because he has his, shall we say, dark side. Let's go with you, Jennifer.
I guess our similarities are that we're woken from a deep sleep to meet a Prince Charming. I am not a cartoon.
You're real.
And I'm pretty sure Sleeping Beauty doesn't have a job.
Interesting.
She doesn't. No.
She just sleeps.
No. Yeah.
It's not a job.
Yeah. And then she wakes up and she's like, marry me.
No, but she can really. She has 3 gifts: a voice, beauty. I just watched this with my kid about 3 weeks ago.
There you go. Perfect.
There's like fairy godmothers. I was watching it with my wife, and she was like, "Ugh, great, of course, beauty. Give her the gift of beauty. Oh, she can really sing. Wow, thanks for these gifts." I'm like, "Those are awesome gifts. I wish I could sing." Anyways, yeah. So
I was not given.
the gift of song.
No. No.
We won't put that to the test now, but any statement on your Prince Charming sort of character, Jim?
I don't think I can.
I think that like Aurora means sunrise some places, and it also is a nod to Sleeping Beauty. But this story doesn't parallel the tale of Sleeping Beauty at all. I think if there's any old classic story that it mirrors, it's potentially the story of Adam and Eve. I think that's a little more similar in terms of 2 people, who are experiencing life alone, and all that's entailed with love and ultimately guilt and shame, and that which makes us human, and have no choice and no escape from that fall from grace that defines them. And so I think that's probably more on the nose. She could have been named Eve.
Thank you, Chris, for those closing remarks. So love, guilt, remorse, pues el amor, la culpa son cosas que nos hacen humanos, y así, tan humanos y tan futuristas, nos despedimos, nos embarcamos todos. No lo olvidéis, en el Avalon el 30 de diciembre. Muchas gracias a todos por venir. Thank you so much. We'll see you on December 30th again, Jennifer and Chris, on board the Avalon.
Gracias.
See you on the next adventure.
Thank
Hasta
you.
la próxima aventura.
Bueno, pues esto ha sido la rueda de prensa de Passengers con Jennifer Lawrence y Chris Pratt.